Hey, what's going on, folks? I just want to start off by saying thank God when I woke up this morning, my channel was still restored and all my videos were still on there. For those of you that didn't see the video that I posted last night, real quick, briefly discussing it, I'll just go over it real quick with you guys, just so some of you know, because only a few hundred of you actually saw that video. And I just checked my comments and someone asked me about it. They said they saw that my channel disappeared for a day. Basically what happened was, and I'm going to share with you those notices that I got. I took a few screenshots of the notices that YouTube and Google sent me, and I want to share those with you guys so you can see exactly what I saw. But basically, 2 days ago, I got an alert on my phone from Google saying there was suspicious activity on my account. And it asked me to enter my phone number. That way it could send me a 6-digit code to verify my account. So I put my phone number in. They sent me the 6-digit code. I put the code in, and then it sent me to this page. And I'll post a photo right here so you guys can see what I read when I got on that page. And I'll give you a few seconds to read it. And as you can see, it basically says my channel's disabled. So I was thinking, what the hell? Like, why was there suspicious activity on my account? Why is my channel disabled? And I don't think you can actually see it in this notice, but at the bottom it basically gave me a little space for me to type a message and give a reason for why I think my channel was taken down. So I basically just typed, I have no idea why my channel was taken down. Will you guys please tell me what happened? And it also said if the problem wasn't resolved immediately, my channel was going to be terminated for good. But it said that it would send me an email giving me a detailed reason for why this is happening. So I started to panic and I immediately went to YouTube to try to sign into this channel that I'm talking to you guys on right now. And when I put in my password, this is what I saw. And you can see it said the channel was already terminated. So I was like, what the hell is going on? They didn't even give me a chance to fight my case. They just terminated my channel for really no reason. At least they didn't give me a reason. I assumed I followed all the same rules that all the other YouTube Game of Thrones channels were following. I don't think I use any more content than some of the other ones do. So I was pretty damn confused. And I posted something on Twitter. I know only a couple of you follow my Twitter account. I wish more of you would follow my Twitter account. If you do have a Twitter, please go to that account. It should be linked on this YouTube channel. That way, if my channel does go down again, you guys will be able to contact me. So that way, if I have to start a new one eventually, you guys will know where to find me if you even care to do so. But as of right now, I'm able to sign into my channel. And I went to my guidelines, and I'll show you this photo too. I still have 0 copyright strikes and 0 guideline community strikes. So I really don't know what happened. I still haven't received an email from Google or YouTube telling me what happened, so I'm still pretty confused. And I just wanted to go over this again and show you guys these photos because there was a few people that actually questioned whether I was telling the truth or not. And I definitely wouldn't make this up. So I want you guys to see this stuff. And you can actually see in this other photo how much my views actually went down. For the past couple of weeks, I was averaging about 20,000 views every 48 hours. And you can see in this photo that in the past 48 hours, I only had 4,000 views. And you can actually see a big gap in those views to where I didn't get any at all. So you can see that my channel was down for a complete 24 hours. So I have no idea what the hell happened. If you guys tried to look for a new video from me yesterday or the day before and you didn't see one or it didn't let you access this channel, I know someone just left a comment saying it said my channel was terminated. This is why, and I still don't know why. But thanks for sticking around. I lost some subscribers, about 30 or 40, but that's all right. Someone left a comment last night saying, hey, at least your loyal ones stuck around. This way we weeded out some of the bad apples. I completely agree. Thank you for saying that. Thanks for all the nice comments you guys left. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are still here. I'm glad all of you didn't try to find my next video and saw that my channel was terminated. Some of you might not even know this happened. Luckily, you didn't see it and just jumped ship. So I'm glad you guys are still here. So let's move forward and start talking some Game of Thrones again. And in today's video, it's going to be my continuation of the plot leak breakdown. And we are now at episode 7, which is the season 7 finale. So let's read through this episode, then start breaking this stuff down. Alright, episode 7. Sansa sentences Littlefinger to death, which Arya carries out. Sometime earlier in the season, Littlefinger attempted to pit Arya and Sansa against each other by using an old letter Sansa wrote under duress by the Lannisters to Robb Stark. Bran helps Sansa see through Littlefinger's ploy. Cersei wakes up in a bed soaked with blood, presumably from a miscarriage. At some point earlier in the season, there was a plot thread where Cersei finds out she is pregnant with Jaime's child. Sam and Bran figure out Jon's parentage, that he is the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen, and that his real name is Aegon, and he was legitimized at birth. He is not a bastard. Jon and Dany have sex on a boat headed north, and at the end of the episode, the wall falls. The Night's King attacks it with the zombie dragon Viserion, and he's able to knock it down. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning and start breaking down each section of this episode. Okay, at the beginning it says, Sansa sentences Littlefinger to death. Arya then carries it out. Sometime earlier in the season, Littlefinger attempted to pit Arya and Sansa against each other by using the old letter Sansa wrote under duress by the Lannisters to Robb Stark. And Bran helps Sansa see through Littlefinger's ploy. So just to remind a few of you about that letter, this was when the Lannisters actually had Ned Stark locked up. And this was when Robb Stark was beginning to rebel because he knew that his father was right and that Joffrey wasn't the next heir to the throne. So Cersei basically forced Sansa to write her brother Robb and tell him to stand down and swear fealty to Joffrey. Cersei said this would help save her father from being executed. So Sansa, of course, wrote the letter. She really didn't have much of a choice at this point. I know the Lannisters needed one of the Stark girls to basically take control of the North, but I think if Sansa refused to write this letter, Cersei or Joffrey probably would have had her killed. As evil as those two are, I could have seen them taking her out. So more than likely, Littlefinger will do what he does best, and that's sneak behind Sansa's back and probably start to whisper in Arya's ear, making her question Sansa's loyalty to the Stark family. Which is kind of ridiculous. Sansa did just help save Jon's life at the Battle of the Bastards, so she obviously loves her family. But there could be a chance that Littlefinger could even know that Sansa wasn't too worried about saving Rickon. But it's obvious Sansa knew what type of person Ramsay was. He was never going to let Rickon get out alive. But you know how Littlefinger is. He can twist the perception any way he wants. That's what he's the best at. But you think when Arya was the cupbearer for Tywin Lannister, she saw Littlefinger talking to Tywin. So she knew that Littlefinger was secretly working for and supporting the Lannisters. So I'd be surprised if she would even consider anything Littlefinger would say. I would think as soon as Arya saw him again, she would have to question his true intentions. But that's how Littlefinger is so great. Whenever he is up against the ropes or backed into a corner, he can always talk his way out of it. He is literally a silver-tongued devil. And as much as I love the Starks and want to see him dead for what he has done to them, I will miss his character on the show. I think he had such an interesting dynamic to the show. But in the end, all men must die. And come season 8, the show won't have much use for its political characters anymore. I think the world is going to be at war with the White Walkers, and they do not seem to want to negotiate. So if you're not a character on the battlefield, I could easily see the show want to start killing off these characters. Littlefinger is probably a first, or at the very least a second tier character, so I'm sure he makes a significant amount of money per episode, money that the show will need for CGI in Season 8. I expect the battles in Season 8 to be like nothing we've ever seen before in television history, so if you're a character just sitting on the sidelines, I won't be surprised to see them go. Because we know the battles in Season 8 are going to be literally epic. All the forces are going to be together. There's probably going to be thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of whites. All the White Walkers. The dragons are going to be fighting the White Walkers. That's going to cost a lot of money. So I think if you're a character that's on the sidelines or behind the scenes, they're probably not going to want to pay you that money to just kind of sit around. But that's just my opinion. I really don't know. But I must say, I would prefer to see Sansa be the one to execute Littlefinger. Her father always said the man that passes the sentence should swing the sword, and I'd love to see her honor her father's words. And plus, considering all the shit Littlefinger has done to Sansa, it would be very fitting and satisfying to see her be the one to take him out. But we know Arya is the killer between the two. And she's going to be chopping at the bit to kill someone that is doing her or her family wrong. So it'll be just as cool to see her do it. And we know Tyrion said Sansa is not a killer, but he said not yet. So I actually do think we are going to see her personally kill someone at some point in the show. At least I hope so. She's been dragged through the mud and treated like shit for a very long time. So I think she's due to take somebody out. But anyway, let's move on. Next it says, Cersei wakes up in a bed soaked with blood, presumably from a miscarriage. At some point earlier in the season, there is a plot thread where Cersei finds out she is pregnant with Jaime's child. Now, I really don't know what to say about this. I understand Cersei wanting an heir to the throne, but I don't know what purpose it shows with them showing her having a miscarriage. I don't know what the point of that is. So if any of you know what point this serves to the current story on the show, please let me know because I really don't get it. So I'm just going to move right past this part. And next it says Sam and Bran somehow figure out Jon's parentage and that he is the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. His real name is Aegon and was legitimized at birth. Now I'm very confused by this. I'm not sure why it would say Bran somehow figured out Jon's parentage too, as if he is just now learning this. I think Bran should already know this. We know in the Tower of Joy scene, Bran clearly said, "That's my Aunt Lyanna." So he has to know that was the baby that his dad brought home from the war, Lyanna's baby, who was Jon Snow. So Bran should already know the story that Sansa knew too. If you remember when Sansa and Littlefinger was down in the crypts, Sansa said that Rhaegar abducted Lyanna. So if I was I don't know why I keep saying Sam. If I was Bran, wouldn't you put two and two together and be like, okay, that's my Aunt Lyanna right there having a baby boy. And there's my father taking that baby. So the son that my father brought home from the war, that is Jon Snow, was obviously Lyanna's baby. And my dad didn't cheat on my mom. So who was Lyanna with at the Tower of Joy? What is the story I've heard my whole life about Lyanna? She was taken and abducted by Rhaegar Targaryen. So Bran should assume that has to be Rhaegar's son as well. So I'm not sure why it says Bran is just now figuring this out as well. But it is interesting to see that Sam may have found out. Do you think that means he read it somewhere? Like maybe he found a hidden marriage certificate or birth certificate somewhere? Or some kind of record? Personally, I believe Jon is legitimate. I don't know about his name being Aegon. I don't think that's his name. I really don't have much evidence for me to provide you guys with. But I just believe that he's legitimate. It's something I've felt for a very long time. And I know you guys have a lot of good reasons for why Jon is still a bastard. They're very good points, but I still just believe this deep down. It's something that I already made a video about, which most of you commented on and a lot of you disagreed with, but that's all right. I think at some point in the future, we are definitely going to find this out. Whether this part of the leak is true or not, I don't know, but I think later on in the books, George is going to break all this down for us. But that's just my opinion, and it's something I hope he does. But it sounds like they're saying Sam and Bran find this out together. So this must be at Winterfell, don't you think? Because we know that Bran is heading to Winterfell, and according to this plot leak, it says Sam heads back to Winterfell too. So I'm assuming if they found this out together, it has to be at Winterfell. And where do you think they could find something like this out at Winterfell? It'd have to be down in the crypts. I think something is down there, something very big, something important has to be down there. And I really can't wait to find out. I hope this part does come true because I really want to see what's going on down in those crypts. So, what do you guys think he could have found down there? Tell me in the comments how you think this possibly worked out. But also in this episode it says that Jon and Dany have sex on a boat. So tell me what you guys think about this. Are you cool with Jon having sex with his aunt? I know the Targaryens have done this before. That's not really what I'm asking you guys. But do you guys actually want to see these two together in a relationship? I'm sure the showrunners want this. I think social media would explode into a frenzy if this happened. They've been building towards this for a very long time. These are the two biggest characters in television right now, so it probably will happen. But how much longer do you actually expect Daenerys to live? This is the season 7 finale. Do you guys actually see her living all the way to the end of the show, to the very last episode of the entire series? I don't think she's going to live to see the end. Do you guys? I think one way or another, Dany's probably going to end up dying. But anyways, the last part of this episode says the wall is going to fall at the end. The Night's King is going to attack it with zombie Viserion, and they're going to be able to knock it down. I think at this point in the show, this has to happen. For the story to come to this major climax, the others are going to have to get south in order to pose the biggest threat that has been talked about for most of this series. And when the Night's King and his army get through the wall, I think shit is going to get crazy. I think the intensity level on the show is going to rise about 1,000 degrees. There's going to be no more magical barrier to protect the realm. So everyone's going to have to start uniting and joining their forces. You guys know how the saying goes, you're going to have to stand together or divided you're going to fall. So they better start getting their shit together. But I can't wait to see these battles, and ultimately, probably the greatest war to ever be displayed on a television screen. I think the very final battle is going to be something epic. I hope they spend $50 million on that last battle. I just want it to be mind-blowing. But I guess if this is true, then Bran's mark is not going to be the thing that allows the others to cross south of the wall. So that's kind of interesting. It kind of felt like that was the whole point of them doing that. I didn't think they showed Bran get that mark just so they can get into the cave, unless it was just for them to do the Hodor scene. But I felt like that mark was going to end up playing out for something bigger. I was kind of hoping not. I made a video about that as well. I didn't think Bran was going to be the one to bring down the wall, but it definitely seemed like that was the direction they were heading in, but I just kind of hoped it wasn't going to be Bran's fault. But do you guys really think we're going to see a zombie dragon? Personally, I know I want to see one. I think it would be cool as hell. Could you imagine seeing the Night's King riding on its back, flying over top of Winterfell, with a 1,000,000-man zombie army marching below him? I think that would be absolutely terrifying. So tell me what you guys think of this alleged finale. What do you guys like or dislike about all this? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's false? Give me your guys' thoughts on everything, and let's discuss it in the comments like we usually do. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate every one of you guys for being here, for watching it, and discussing this with me. So, thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.